Welcome everyone to the weekly RFOX AMA with RFOX CEO and co-founder Benny Fairbank, and I'm the host Lenny Clifford. I hope everyone's doing well. How about you, Benny?
I'm doing great, thanks, mate. Very, very happy to be here.
All right, well, it's great to see you again, and there is a lot happening as usual. There's a lot of chaos out there, I think, and a lot of FUD. There's takeovers, there's resets, and the Web3 space is seeing constant challenges impacting it, but it's still managing to launch a lot of unique products out there across the board. It really feels like the Wild West at the moment, though. But let's hear about some of the wins for RFOX since we last caught up. What's the progress?
Yeah, well, just on that, I think the thing is that now that the dust is settling a little bit, people are having to sort of say, look, we've gone to ground zero in prices for almost all of these projects. So now it's a matter of taking stock and saying which ones are actually building stuff, which ones are memes, which ones are going to be here next time we get into a run, you know. So realistically, we've been building feverishly now that we've got Luke as chief of product and we've got people driving those product deliveries. We've always had a problem like everybody else in trying to get these deadlines met, but now we're getting much more systemic and we've got an amazing process for getting things out. So obviously the NFT marketplace and platform coming out is big for us. And then TV next, and then combining the marketplace into TV to give people that are content creators a truly unique platform to be able to do NFT memberships and content distribution and IP creation. It's going to be quite amazing. So that's been, as we know, 14 months in the works. The NFT platform was about 14 months in the works. So these things have not just popped up overnight, but it's just that we're now much more focused and driven on being able to hit these deadlines. And we've been going through a reorg since the end of last year, and we're just making sure that we are laser focused on having the right people for the right phase, and that's starting to show.
Okay, great. Yeah, a lot happening, and you mentioned the RFOX TV platform, which it'll be good to get into that later. A bit of a dive into what is actually coming up there. And for now, though, what are the latest updates on the RFOX VALT build? It's looking pretty good.
Well, this build here is basically just stable now. So we've effectively perfected a few more little things, but all of our time, attention and focus at the moment is on the new MVP that will be dropping in a couple of weeks from now. And that is a much cleaner sandbox with much better graphics. I think people have commented on stuff just like reflections and the attention to detail, but that gives us a much better indication of where things are headed. And then that will lead into the avatars and apartments. If people see the avatars and apartments now in their current form, they're going to think to themselves, how do you go from this environment to that environment? Whereas if you see the new MVP sandbox, it's a lot smaller transition, but the avatars and apartments will give people a much clearer indication of sort of where we're headed next.
Okay, and with the new shop templates, what's with the decision of making them look like real world shops when there's an opportunity to create a totally unique, out of this world experience?
There's a very, very good reason for that. So what I'd rather do is wait for a couple of weeks until we move into the new MVP and I can start to explain that. But let's just say that the longer term goal for the shops is to say you can use them as standard shops and as just shops, or you've got an opportunity to do this as a much wider, broader business. So we meant what we said. We're going to make sure that we bring huge value to the shop owners. So I'd say just wait a few weeks until we can show you what we're bringing in the MVP, and that will explain how things are transitioning and heading.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think I know where you're going with that. So, all right, well, let's move along from the Vault then. And I thought this week we could look a little bit more at RFOX TV, what's coming up there with the MVP launch. How does that sound?
Yeah, sure.
So RFOX TV, it's an online streaming and create to earn video NFT platform. It's using cutting edge blockchain technology. It's a very new concept to most people. Can you go over its key features?
Basically, it does have a familiar look and feel. So if you look at like a YouTube, you'd recognize certain buttons, functions, and because we're black and red in our main corporate colors, it's not going to be a foreign color scheme as well. But the thing is that on a normal video streaming platform, you might be able to upload a video, share content, like, subscribe. What we've tried to do is make it so that if you're a content creator, you can also say, look, this is my channel, here's my TV, here's my videos, but how about you become a member? You can buy an NFT, we can create NFT, we can do social gifting, you can create items. I can create content based on what I'm doing. Now, in the past, people would say, if you're an influencer, whatever, they'd say, that's a nice t-shirt. Lenny, where'd you get that t-shirt? So we'd actually be able to create wearables in the metaverse from things that we're wearing. We'd be able to do sponsorship. We can present as an avatar. So we can start doing sessions, top coins, news updates on crypto, all the rest of it here in the vault as our avatar, changing clothes, streaming that through to RFOX TV. And as an avatar, I'm much more versatile, right? I can change clothes, I can change backgrounds, I can change outfits. This brings in the element of being able to work more closely and intimately with your sponsors if you have an audience. So realistically, you're taking what is a very stock standard type of video platform and then saying, let's plug in the IP transfer, content creation, the ability to earn for creators. And we also have the ability for stuff like down the track for bidding. You could bid for space and time and airspace on these channels or on an influencer channel. How it works at the moment, as you know, is you pay money and you get inserted into all these ads and people skipping and all the rest of it. We've actually got a chance to meld whatever message we're trying to send into the background of whatever we're doing. So this just takes everything to a brand new level. And of course, if you just wanted to watch a stock standard video and upload a video and like it and subscribe, you can still do all of that as well. These are just all the next level features.
Now, RFOX TV will include the ability to create NFTs from video content. Users will be able to capture memorable moments like the winning tries in the All Black games that they keep scoring against the Wallabies, or maybe more unique moments like Australian cricketers performing underarm bowls. Just imagine the possibilities though. Are there any limits on content categories, or could it be anything from TikTok videos to capturing sporting moments or newsworthy content?
Yeah, you could do anything. You could even capture like the New Zealand dating shows where the guys date sheep and stuff. You could do anything you like, really.
Perseverance is the name of the game. If you want to be good at something, you just have to keep your head down and your bum up, and it will come to you.
It's all possible. Basically, you can do music, any type of audio, sound, visual files, all of that will be available. So ultimately, there's no limit. Again, the idea of RFOX is for us to be able to create the platform and create the tools to show people what could actually be done as a minimum, and then say, here you go, here the tools are for you. Get in there, create, build, extend, make better. And I want people to come back and say, because you know people are very, in this space, they're very outspoken, and you'll get people come along and say, your graphics are terrible, or this doesn't work, or why do you do that? So I can't wait for people to say, why wouldn't you combine that with that and then put those together and do that, so that we can say, then do that, go for it. Get in there, use it, create a business for yourself by using those tools. Ultimately, our job is to give you an example, not every single possible use case. It's to highlight what can be done, show the features, have a demonstration, run our businesses. But effectively, we've always said this, the biggest games company will not be from RFOX Games, the biggest finance company will not be from RFOX Finance, etc. These people will come in as creators and create their own businesses and thriving ecosystems on our tools.
Sure. I can't wait to see what comes up. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I just might add that, you mentioned the New Zealand dating shows, and, it sounds like it would have still the ability for fake content then.
No. That's the beautiful part about blockchain, mate. It's all verified and immutable.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. How will people get their royalty, and how is the price or value decided?
Yeah, so again, we'll provide the tools, and what we'll find, we're already seeing it talking to creators that are interested. Different creators want to use different pricing schemes and models, which is fine with us. So how we'll work is in that Redditor type model of the we'll introduce the customers to the sellers or the retailers or content producers to the end users. And for that introduction, we're taking a transaction fee for every transaction that transpires. So we're not necessarily looking at saying, right, we've got a defined model, whereas if you sell this, then we get this. It's a matter of literally taking a clip of the ticket on the way through. And if they want to do a different type of structure, they want to charge $100 for an NFT. Another person wants to charge $10 for an NFT. We don't really care. We just take a percentage on the way through. But we expect that there will be completely different types of models and different types of incentivization, because when you're competing in the attention economy, people are going to have to lift their game and work out creative ways to bring that attention in. And if I've got tons of users, I'm in a much better position to negotiate advertising space and prices and partnerships and deals. So again, we'll let people that are much more versed in that work those deals out with the partners that they work with, and we'll just do what we do, and that is provide the platform, provide the technology, and take the clip of the ticket.
Yeah. Okay. So on clipping the ticket and obviously the revenue that's generated there, some of that will actually come back to the community. How can you explain how that will work?
Yeah, so like in the VALT structure, we've talked about the fact that anything that goes through the VALT, there's a 2% charge, 1% goes back to the VFOX holders. We've yet to announce the exact structure for TV and the others, but we will when they launch, exactly like we did with the VALT. But ultimately, we're always looking at working out how to give back and then how to make sure that the community's rewarded, because that's also going to keep people engaged and keep people coming in and referring people to our platform as well. So what we've always talked about since the beginning is have an overarching reward system. So what we've done is we've been isolated or had to choose COG staking or 2% cashback or whatever it might be as we roll out these individual pieces. Now that we're getting this whole structure coming together and the whole ecosystem coming together, it's a lot easier for us to sit down now and say, what is the overarching reward structure that makes people use each of the products and services that we offer in some capacity? How do we reward people for their time? How do we keep people engaged, and how do we make people come back? And that's the main crux of, or pillars that all these businesses are trying to solve, all the way back to the legacy businesses in Web 2.0. So we've got a ton of experience in that, a couple of decades, and we will inevitably, and as we've stated since day one, roll out something that is all encompassing across all of the ventures.
Okay, sure. Now, just back to the royalty side of things, for the user, can their NFT be shared on other NFT platforms or on mainstream legacy networks, and how would that creator get to keep profiting when that happens?
Yeah, so basically, if they're on an Ethereum-based contract, for example, they could go to OpenSea, LooksRare, or any of those platforms. Absolutely. We've got a very good mechanism that we're going to introduce very shortly as far as the VALT is concerned, because as we flick on the switch for the creator economy and people are coming in here, we want to be able to allow two things. If you want to create couches for apartments or furniture or pools or some sort of beautification upgrades or value adds, we want to make it that you're able to create it in here. But effectively, the whole idea of a metaverse is to be interoperable, right? So if you wanted to take that and use that into a compatible metaverse, that would be a possibility. There's a really clever way that we can do the deployment of these items in the creator economy to make sure that the creator is getting rewarded wherever that item travels, but also that the vault is also rewarded for everywhere that item travels as well. So we'll roll that out very shortly, but I think there's a couple of examples out there that people might already be cottoned onto what I'm saying, where you can actually oversee the deployment.
And how about fees and say fees to mint your content, and what will happen with high gas fees, or are you looking at ZK roll-up solutions for that?
Yeah, so we've got we've talked about 721A and we've talked about how to reduce costs, and we're writing a lot of the contracts that are gas friendly or more efficient in the Ethereum platform. But as you know, being multi-chain, people will choose different chains based on whatever it is that they're trying to do. So again, as you know, we don't really set those mint fees. That's up to the chain that they're actually minting on. But obviously, we'll have support for most of the layer 2 EVMs, Ethereum, obviously, and also we've got Wax, BSC. So we'll look to add more and more chains as we progress, and then people will be able to choose based on the amount of transactions they consider that they'll have, the frequency of the use, the value of the items. But ultimately, we will just provide people with a ton of different options. And it could be that people actually have one campaign that they go through and do on ETH, and then another campaign that they go through and do on Solana, for example. That's the beautiful thing about being multi-chain, is that people can actually have NFTs issued on multiple chains depending on what their function is.
Benny, it's a huge topic to cover. We're going to have to come back to it a few times, and yeah, we're leading up to that launch, so we'll take a real deep dive into the product when that does happen in the coming weeks. So, was there anything else that you wanted to mention just before we finish?
Just say stay tuned to the social channels for also when we start to drop spoilers for the avatars and for the lore. I think people that are into lore and the story behind why things are will really enjoy where we're going with the lore for the vault. So really excited to unveil that with you guys and to unpick it and to give you some spoilers on what these avatars look like.
Fantastic. All right, let's finish it up there. Great to catch up with you again in the vault, Benny.
You too, mate. We'll see. Actually, next time we'll see you. I think we're pretty close to doing our first one in the new vault, so look forward to that.
That will be really cool. Catch you there. Okay, see you later.
Try again.
Try again.